I've got to be in the mood for him. And very seldom am I in the mood for.
Saturday Night Live stuff was okay, but you kind of have rose-colored glasses when you think about the past, because he did a lot of stuff on that show that nobody liked or cared about.
Right.
But the one or two things that are actually funny.
Right.
Those are what you remember. Like this, he did a kids show where they have the letters F-U-C-K for like friendship, understanding, caring, and kindness. But they're standing in a slightly different order. They keep almost spelling out the word f***, and they behind the camera, people like, stop! You know? They get so close to it over and over. It was very funny. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. My name is Eric Wilford Watson. Thank you for stopping by the Reaction Lounge.
I'm Steve. I'm here on occasion when there's alcohol and cigars.
I have to bribe them to show up now.
You know what happens.
So we're going to just talk about stuff that happened over the last year that we watched, that we missed, and stuff that's coming in the future in 2025. This video will probably be edited and released just before the new year. So let's talk about the New Year's-y kind of stuff.
New Year's-y kind of stuff. So,
that's probably going to be the actual name of the episode.
Yes. I've got to start out strong with my favorite movie of 2024. I just recently saw.
Oh, really?
And I did not expect to like it. I was actually going into it ready to hate it.
Hated it.
I'm intrigued.
And every part about it that I was worried about became my favorite parts of this movie. Now, and I want to paint this picture for you. Not only did I go see it in theaters by myself, which I never do. I am not a movie by myself kind of guy. I was so desperate to prove that this was a shit movie that I even got the super late night extra.
You wanted to hate watch it?
I wanted to hate watch it. I got the front row. So even in the Dream Lounger, I was still like this. Like the worst viewing experience possible for a movie that I had no business wanting to like for stupid reasons, and I loved every damn second of it. Gladiator 2.
Really?
Gladiator 2.
That was a big lead up for a movie that I really don't give a shit about.
They did so well with this movie.
Really?
And I'm from a cinematic perspective, the script, the acting, the action, everything, it was just great. Highly recommend it.
I am aware of its existence. I'll probably watch it when it comes out on streaming. I don't think it's in theaters anymore. It might be. But
Maybe.
I know. See, the thing is, I wasn't really a big fan of the first movie. Not that I didn't like it. I just don't remember it. I saw it when it was a new movie, and I remember thinking, hey, that was a pretty good movie. And that was the end of that, you know?
Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
And then here it is, 20 plus years later, I think?
Yeah.
I think it's like a 2000 movie, maybe?
Something like
Original
that.
Gladiator? When Russell Crowe was healthy and skinny?
You can't blame these people. You can't blame these people for wanting to be thin. Who wants to look like a big fat pig?
He really kind of, much different.
Not that I'm one to talk, but, I was never a famous movie star either.
Much different from his appearance in Thor: Love and Thunder. That came out in 2000, so 24 years.
Yeah. So what is it? What was so good about it? I thought it was just sort of a rehash. It's like the same story, but with new characters.
So it is a continuation of the timeline. And I can't really say too much without totally giving away the movie. But I can address it in this way. I was concerned about Denzel Washington being in it. And he was a fantastic bad guy.
Oh, he's the villain.
He's a villain.
Oh, I didn't know.
He doesn't come across as a villain, but towards the end you realize he's a villain. And I think the part that really added to the writing and the directing and the acting in this one is we're in a period of time in Rome where the emperor is twins. So you have dueling emperors, and everything about them, from the first moment they are on screen, you have this primal instinct that takes over you while you're watching that you hate them. The way they look, the way they talk, their teeth, their makeup, their mannerisms, everything, you just cannot help but go, you are evil. And I hate your guts on a primal level. And I haven't had a movie make me feel that way in a long time.
It's good to have a movie where you like hating the villain. Mm-hmm. Hand me another beverage, would you please, kind sir? It's like, I didn't realize there were... I thought they were over by you. I could have done that myself.
That's fine. You just like bossing me around. But no, so I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. And I would highly recommend it to anyone that was a fan of the first one. I will say you do need to watch the first one to understand how things actually play out in the second one. But very good.
I'd have to rewatch the first one. I remember like the images of the movie.
Right.
But I can't remember anything about the story. I remember Russell Crowe's character dies.
Yep.
But that's about all I remember.
Yep.
But I did sit down today and think about what I watched in 2024 and what I'm looking forward to. And I didn't want to forget anything, so I made a little note.
Listen, at least it's not one of those itty bitty notebooks that you flip the pages over.
Or like a note you pass in school where you have to like unfold it different ways. And I typed it up on my phone and then printed it. And I put it's large print so I can read it.
Everything about this is great.
All right, and the first one on my list is actually kind of similar to yours, and that's Twisters.
Oh, you know what? I didn't see that. Is it good?
It is pretty much exactly like you described Gladiator.
Okay.
I didn't think I was going to like it. I thought the first movie was okay. I actually posted a little mini review of that on this channel as a solo type review. But it has none of the characters from the original movie.
Correct.
It has the exact same story.
Okay.
It really is just, if you want to watch tornadoes destroy things and you want to watch people driving cool looking trucks, almost getting killed over and over again, you're going to enjoy yourself watching the movie. If you just want to see the destruction, much better special effects.
Oh, for sure.
The CGI looks amazing.
Okay.
I don't know how much of it's practical, how much of it's CGI. I imagine most of it's CGI, but it's really, really genuinely surprisingly good. I watched it mostly out of boredom. Like,
for sure.
Peacock, I think, had it, and it kept popping up every time I turned it on. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch it.
I had made plans to go see it with Sexy Spence from What You Take. And because a colleague of mine at work had seen it, and they had talked about these 5D theaters. And so I think it's a 5D at least. There's one down in Illinois where it's the one where you sit in the chair and it will rumble your chair, spray you with water, like kind of immerses you within it. Mm-hmm. And the reviews for this movie in particular at that type of a theater,
that would be cool,
was like, this is the only way to experience something like Twister. So we had made plans to go see it, and the day we were going to go, we went to double check. Tickets sold out before I could even get them, because that was the same day that Deadpool and Wolverine kicked in.
That movie would have been great to see in the movie theater because, minor spoiler, there's a sequence where a tornado destroys a movie theater with people in it. Which they did in the original movie too, as a drive-in, where they had The Shining.
Yep.
One of the coolest shots in the original was Jack Nicholson swinging the axe at the door at the same time the tornado's ripping apart the movie screen.
Yep.
And like his face is projected on the tornado. That's just really cool.
Yep.
This movie doesn't quite have that level of insanity to it.
For sure.
It seems more like realistic tornadoes, but it's still really good.
Good. Okay. I'm going to have to see
It's
that.
a popcorn movie. Don't expect to be blown away by the brilliant storytelling.
Oh, no, for sure.
Enjoy the spectacle. The characters are just characters enough where they seem like they're fine, whatever. They're like the people in a Godzilla movie. You don't really give a shit about them, but they're there.
You're there for the tornadoes.
You're there for the tornadoes, and you get that and then some.
I get that. I mentioned a moment ago Deadpool and Wolverine. I was very happy with the movie.
Mm-hmm. I put that on my list too.
Top 5 maybe for me.
I liked it more than I thought I would. Deadpool 1 was just amazing.
Yes.
No movie was quite like Deadpool.
Yep.
Deadpool 2 wasn't as good, but it was still very, very good.
Yep.
Deadpool 3 I still don't think is as good as the original, but I think it did a perfect job of integrating Fox and DC, or Fox and Disney.
Yep.
Bringing the X-Men into the MCU, and the fourth wall break seemed appropriate. Yep. Like he's talking to Wolverine. He's like, "You're going to be doing this till you're 90. Till you're 90."
Yep.
It was actually kind of funny because in reality, the Wolverine character is actually older than that.
Yep.
But no, it was good. What else you got on my list here?
Well, and they were great jabs at Hugh Jackman because he had retired from being Wolverine, and then they brought him back.
Oh yeah.
So they were great jabs there.
Switching to television, the Fallout TV show I really liked.
Did you?
Well, it probably helps that I was a really big fan of the game.
Okay.
And there are a few things nitpick-wise that I didn't really like, but overall, I don't know if I'm not as much of a video game guy as you, but Fallout is one of the games that I've really loved. I love Fallout 3. I love Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4.
Okay.
Fallout 76 to a lesser extent, but I love that universe. And this movie captures the tone of that universe absolutely perfectly.
Okay.
So I give it a wholehearted thumbs up.
Okay.
Just like the character.
Just like the pit boy?
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of it. It couldn't keep me in long enough.
I think you might have to play the game to really get the movie.
And that's
to
fair,
get the show.
Because those were not on my list of favorites. I respect them in what they are for the games, but I've never been a big Fallout guy.
What else you got?
I'm trying to remember.
Time's up. The next thing on my list. No, go ahead.
No, I keep reading articles about The Last of Us because the season 2 should be coming up, but I don't remember if season 1 was in 2024 or if that was a tail end of 2023.
Yeah, speaking of video game adaptations, I think that might have been 23, but I don't know for sure.
I'm thinking 23. Okay. The more and more I'm saying it. Anyway, so what do you got? Because mine was a failure.
Dune 2 and Dune Prophecy.
Oh, okay.
Boring. But good.
Boring. Okay.
Boring, but good.
Okay.
The first Dune movie visually was great. The second Dune movie was visually even better.
Okay.
The story just drags on a little bit, which, again, I did a solo review of the Dune stuff. It drags on a little bit too much, kind of like the book. I tried like 5 times to read the book. I love science fiction novels. You can buy my science fiction novel, Death Siren. Go to ericwilfordwatson.com. But I love science fiction books. I love big, thick, epic novels. The book just bored the shit out of me.
Right.
I just stopped giving a shit.
Okay.
And kind of the same thing happened in the movies, but the movies are so visually engaging that I still was just staring at it and just engrossed by it.
That's fair.
You just fell into that universe. And before you realize it, somewhere along the way, you just are absolutely captivated by what's going on.
Yeah.
And you really start to feel for the characters, but they like ease you into it. You have to have a good attention span.
Yeah.
Dune Prophecy, the TV show spinoff, I like the idea of having a spin-off show in the same universe between movies, like The Penguin.
Okay. Yep.
It just doesn't quite deliver.
For sure.
But it is what it is. But I genuinely like the second Dune movie, and I am looking forward to the third one.
Okay. One that I did not like, I liked pieces of this, but the project as a whole I was not a fan of was Star Wars The Acolyte. Didn't really do it for me.
Yeah, I wanted to like it.
I wanted to so bad.
And it had good ideas.
Yep.
It had good ideas couched in politics isn't the right word, but it seemed to be almost a litmus test of if you're of a certain political stripe, you won't like it. If you're of a different political stripe, you might be more inclined to like it. I tried to remove that thinking from my head and just watch it for what it was. It had some things I liked. It had some things I didn't like.
Yep.
And I wasn't at all sad when they canceled it. And
Correct.
that won't be on our upcoming 2025 list for sure.
It will not be. It will not be.
I do like, and this is a current running, have you seen Skeleton Crew yet?
No, but I'm hearing wonderful things about it.
My co-host on Sound and Fury, Hugh Frank, watched about the first 10 minutes of it and turned it off.
Oh!
He couldn't stand it. He thought it was just,
It looks like Goonies in space.
Yeah. I told him, dude, you got to go back and watch it. Just forget what you think about it. Just give it a chance. But I'm 3 episodes in, and I am absolutely captivated by it. It just captures that fun, like old 80s Spielberg kind of movies.
Okay.
Just the adventure, the kids going on an adventure in the Star Wars universe, and it feels so Star Warsy. Minor spoiler, there's a sequence that I just love that seems kind of brilliantly written where guys trying to rescue their droid from I don't know, they're like in a pirate area. They're trying to get their droid back. This guy goes in there and like doesn't know which droid it is because he was just sent there to go get the droid. He flips on a droid. He's like, "Oh, thank you. I have to go rescue the prince." And he wanders off and like walks into a wall. He's like, "Nope, that's not the right droid."
The prince is in danger. Quickly, I must save the prince. We must go this way. Where? I can't see.
It's like all these other droids are on these like missions that aren't really important to the story. They just go, "Okay, well, here's the right one." It's like, I don't know what happened to that droid.
Right, give me a spin-off series for that guy.
That's funny. It's like another side quest adventure from some other story that we're not told.
For sure.
So I thought that was neat. But
that's clever. The
kids stuck on a starship. They're trying to find their home planet. Nobody can help find it. And they're kind of, it's just really good. It has just a fun tone. Okay. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It has puppets instead of CGI.
Which that's OG Star Wars.
Yeah.
That I appreciate.
I mean, of course they use CGI for the space.
That makes sense.
But you can, it's a guy in a wolf suit, you know?
I was fascinated by the fact that they got Jude Law, of all people. I never pictured Jude Law being Star Wars, but it seems like it's working.
Yeah, I think it's great. I can't wait to see what they're doing. I think they could ruin it. I mean, something could happen in episode 5 that everybody goes up in arms and, you know, there are pitchforks surrounding Disney Studios. Who knows? But so far,
look at the Acolyte.
So far, I don't think anybody liked that from the beginning. But so far, it's great.
Good. I'm trying to think. Going into 2025. Nope, that's a 26 project actually. Never mind. Carry on.
See, well, we got 28 years later.
Okay, so that was covered in. Spence was talking to me about this, and I've heard that this is one of those ones that has been a long time coming comparative to the first 2, but I've never seen any of them. I love Cillian Murphy, and I don't mind a good zombie flick here and there, but I've heard it's supposed to be decent.
I'm not really a horror movie fan, but I did like the original 28 Days Later a lot. I can't remember if I've seen the second one. I really honestly don't remember. Okay. But I think the trailer, like they should submit this trailer to film schools. Yeah. This is how you make a trailer. Okay. It tells you a mini little story and makes you want to watch the movie. Okay. It starts off with 28 days turned into weeks, and they show some stuff.
7, 6, 11, 5, 9 and 20 miles today, 4, 11.
Weeks turned into years. Okay. And it's just a good trailer. I'll play a little bit of it here now.
Men go mad with watching them. There's no discharge.
It really makes you want to watch the movie, even if you're not a horror movie fan. And I think it's a great concept. Like, you get like a month, 28 days. It's a February later. Then you get 28 weeks later, 28 years. Hasn't quite been 28 years since the first one, but hey, close enough. It's been a couple decades. Yep. I think it's a great way to do a legacy sequel. They actually have like the time in the title of the movie. Yep. It just looks good. I'm probably going to watch that one.
I will have to check that one out. One that, speaking of horror, that I watched and actually kind of hated was the newest Hellboy movie, Hellboy the Crooked Man. Oh my goodness, was it horrible?
You guys talked about that on your other channel, right?
We did, yep. I mean, horrible writing, horrible acting.
Is it the second reboot of it?
This is the third. So the original, the ones that are near and dear to my heart, is Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you had a reboot franchise. So there was 2 of those films with Ron Perlman, and then you had the reboot that came out, which the makeup was just all sorts of out of whack, and then that kind of died because everybody hated it. And then this one was supposed to be kind of a different take on Hellboy altogether and take a little bit more of a horror aspect to it. Which I think is initially what drew me towards it from maybe it's different enough from Ron Perlman that it could stand on its own. Kind of like how they have the different Batmans going on right now, right? You have more fantastical and not fantastical. And it was just horrible. Really? Everything about it was horrible. I mean, it got to the point where we were making fun of the background characters. like just the random village people. We were having more entertainment out of them than we were the actual film itself.
What were they doing, YMCA?
No, if you want me to really disclose how horrible
wrong vote.
How horrible of a human being
did that joke over your head? Or
yeah, it did.
Why the village people did the song YMCA? 70s disco? No? Huh?
Nope.
You don't know the song YMCA?
I mean, I know the song.
Have you ever been to a wedding reception in your entire life?
I have. Is it not just its own standalone thing?
Well, a musical group made the song.
That I didn't know.
It was a song by the Village People. And you said watching the Village People, so I made a YMCA.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, totally over my head on that one. Sorry, I'm a horrible human being.
Gen X, millennial. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'm just always like, it's the YMCA song.
Well, it's before my time, but I at least know what it is. Anyway, I completely derailed you here.
You're fine. It got so bad that they end up in this weird village, I think in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains or something like that. And all of these people look like they are inbreds. Just is what it is. Adds to the creepy, no one's here, no one's well taken care of. There's a person walking in the background, and they were put a little more gusto into their acting. And we were like, that right there. Someone had to audition for that, and someone had to pick out like that person right there. That's what we're looking for this piece right here. But we had more fun making crack-off jokes about that than we did the actual film.
Sometimes a bad movie becomes fun because you just enjoy hating the movie.
Dragged Across Concrete, ladies and gentlemen. If I've never mentioned it before. Correct? I hate that movie so much.
So we also have I kind of want to just talk about the upcoming DC stuff.
Yeah.
For 2025, we got, of course, Superman.
Yes.
We got Peacemaker Season 2.
Okay.
I think that might be it. I think there's a Sandman Season 2, but I never watched that.
That was good.
So I'm really excited for Peacemaker Season 2. And we've got Creature Commandos going on currently. I think that wraps up before the new year. Okay. Or slightly after. I can't remember. Okay. I think it's just slightly after the new year. Creature Commandos, I think you would like. It's basically the Suicide Squad with different characters. Mm-hmm. The only one that's a repeat is Weasel from... he was in the Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But it really is the same concept. Amanda Waller, the government says we can't use human beings like that anymore, so here's a team that aren't human. She finds the loophole.
Okay.
So
all right, that's fair.
She has a Frankenstein lady, a GI robot, which is the corniest name for a superhero character, but he was a robot built during World War II for the express purpose of killing Nazis, and he really just wants to kill Nazis so bad. You kind of feel sorry for him when he doesn't get to kill Nazis.
It's been oh so long since G.I. Robot has sent Nazis back to hell where they belong.
I think it will be soon.
He keeps asking, are they Nazis? It's like, no, G.I. Robot, they're not Nazis. It's like, aw.
When did, speaking of Nazis, the, with Henry Cavill, what in the world?
Oh, yes. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yes. That was 2024, wasn't it?
Yes.
I love that movie. That was so much fun.
Great. It had Guy Ritchie's fingerprints all over the movie. Which is just absolutely excellent. We've both, you made me a Guy Ritchie fan.
Yep.
So that was another movie. That didn't make my list, but it should have. That was a good one. Mm-hmm. You're not a fan of Superman. Do you think you're going to watch the movie or just like wait for it to come out in streaming?
Ooh.
I guess the trailer's going to come out like this week.
I'm going to need to see a trailer or two. There will be a 50-50 chance that I go see it in theaters. Maybe what I'll do is from a theater perspective, I will wait for like a $5 Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I think is what I'll end up doing.
You don't want to give Superman your money.
Nope. Batman can have it. You don't need it, but Batman can have it.
So yeah, DC's got a lot of, most of the DC stuff is 2026 and beyond, but you got Superman, and that's the first legit cinema experience for the new DCU.
Yes. I think from other side of the pond, on Marvel's end, I think Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts both come out in 2025.
Yes, that's on my list too.
I'm interested to see both of those. Captain America is going through some struggles. They have, at least twice that I have heard of, they've shown the film to test audiences. So they showed the original film to test audiences. People were walking out.
Yeah, not going well.
Brought it back, reshot some stuff, redid the story a little bit, showed it again. People walked out still.
It's awful, terrible, disgusting.
So I think they are on 2, if not 3 rounds of reshoots and fixing things. And that's rough. I mean, you got Anthony Mackie, you got Harrison Ford, you have got Giancarlo Esposito, I always screw up his name, who plays just a fabulous bad guy. You've got a killer cast, and the movie's struggling.
Yeah, I mean, it's charisma from all these actors. It exudes talent. It should be a good movie.
Yep.
But and it is scary that they're doing all these reshoots and whatnot. But I think what's even more scary is when you try to recreate something that already started. Think about the Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
When they started filming it with Zack Snyder and they gave it over to Joss Whedon, and they basically made a completely different contradictory movie. So you could like see the elements that they were trying to do one way, just conflicting visions. What I'm predicting here is that the elements of a good movie are going to be in Captain America, but you're going to see the little hands of the movie executives pulling things and trying to mold this thing into something palatable that nobody's going to be happy with.
Yep.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope that they can
I hope you're wrong too.
Polish the turd into a good movie, but I don't think that's going to happen. Marvel needs a hit right now.
What I'm hopeful for with this is because from the trailers, this looks like for the first time in a long time since Endgame and the Infinity Saga, that this looks like the classic Marvel movie that we all kind of fell in love with. On the other hand, Thunderbolts looks entertaining, but I have zero interest in I need to see this right now. It looks punchy. It looks fun action.
If Marvel can pull off just a fun movie that's just okay and enjoyable, and it doesn't have any controversial political stuff going on with it, if they just make a movie, people will go watch it. Yeah, people are mad at Marvel now, but they remember what it used to be.
Correct.
And people hunger for that still. Same thing with DC.
Yep.
If DC and Marvel can both return to making movies that people want to watch, even if they're just okay, I think people are hungry for it. People talk about superhero fatigue. I think that there's actually a thirst for good superhero content because it's not there.
It's not there. I agree. And I think DC especially has got a really rough uphill battle to do with that.
I kind of like the idea of these characters kind of being like The Simpsons where they just don't age.
They just don't age.
I kind of appreciate that about the comics. You know, Batman has been at his physical peak since the 1930s, you know?
He eats his vegetables.
Yeah, that's true.
When he's not being a dick to Alfred.
You got a new Mission Impossible movie coming out, supposedly the last one.
We do. I'm excited for it. That one I will go see in theaters.
I rewatched all the original Mission Impossible movies. The seventh one, they kind of repeat themselves a little bit too much, but they're all fun to look at.
They're fun. Yes.
They're just, you know exactly what you're getting when you watch a Mission Impossible movie. If they deliver that, I think it'll be a big hit.
Pumpy arms. Yeah, no, I agree. Those are, I've never been mad at one of those movies.
The second one kind of sucked.
Second one did kind of suck, actually. It's the hair. Every time you do a movie and you have your main character have the long hair going on like that when they normally don't, it sucks.
The DC shows on the CW have ended after a long time.
Stop it, really? Did they?
Are you being sarcastic?
No. Here's the thing. I've never actively watched them. I loved Arrow when that was out. But it was that thing in the back of my head that I was like, those always have existed. Flash was always there. Arrow was always there. They're toast now?
Yeah, the final one was Superman and Lois, and it just aired its final episode. So as of right now, there are no more DC shows on the CW, and that's a chapter that's closed. The DC... The whole Arrowverse had its entire run and it's over. So that's a big deal that happened in 2024 and close the book on that and move on. I guess that's another side effect of James Gunn taking over and all that. But I think it had a fantastic run and I think it's probably good that they stopped it. They had the Supergirl show, all those other ones, a few that I'm not even remembering. Genuinely good for the most part. They got a little corny. I would kind of pick them up, really enjoy a season of it, and then forget about it for a while, then come back to it again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Damn.
Yeah. But I like Superman and Lois. I thought it was a great version of Superman, but I can see why if they're going to promote this new Superman movie, they don't want to have too much saturation of the market. So this is the Superman from now on.
We don't want too much Superman, but hey, we can have 15 Batmans going on at one time. It's fine. All the orphan kids.
So I've been reading, going into the book world a little bit, the Bosch series, which is adapted on Amazon.
Okay.
It's a detective story set in Los Angeles. It's like an old hard-boiled detective solves murders kind of thing.
Okay.
Season-long cases. The Lincoln Lawyers on Netflix. I've read all the books or listened to the audiobooks of all of them, and they're great. Netflix has the Lincoln Lawyer adaptation, not the Matthew McConaughey movie of the same name, but a TV series that ran a couple seasons. Ended on a cliffhanger.
Okay.
Now I got to wait for season 3 or 4.
Rude.
3, I think it's season 3. Whatever. The next season's in 2025.
Okay.
One thing that I think is kind of neat is the books incorporate the television show spinoffs into the books.
Oh.
So
That's backwards compared to usual.
Detective Harry Bosch is having a conversation. It's like, hi, how have you been doing? It's like, oh yeah, I just finished streaming the Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. in the books,
that's clever.
In the books, they're adaptations of real cases.
Okay,
it's like they made a Netflix show based on what happened to the actual Lincoln. It's, oh, you're friends with the actual Lincoln Lawyer, aren't you? I thought that was really, how fun is that?
That's fun.
All the movies and TV shows exist in the book universe.
Well, that's kind of what James Gunn is doing too, isn't it? With not necessarily from a book perspective, but everything is within the same continuity. So that's fun, because then for people that are fans of those franchises, it's no matter when you pick it up, you're still plugged in. I like that. I just thought,
and they did that in other areas too, like the Lincoln Lawyer. People like say, hey, you don't look anything like Matthew McConaughey. I thought that's that's great. Another show that I watched, I gave up on after 2 episodes. I'm probably not going to go back, but they did something neat with this, the TV show Matlock.
Okay.
Now that sounds old. That's just like an old person TV show.
Sounds old.
You ever heard of it?
Heard of it, yes. Never seen it.
In the 80s and 90s, there was this old guy who was a lawyer. He always solved his cases and whatever.
Yep.
They have a new spinoff with Kathy Bates.
Okay.
Kathy Bates is phenomenal.
Oh, I've seen the trailer for this.
It's not a reboot.
Oh.
It's also not in the same universe as the original.
Oh.
It's a lady named Matlock who says, yeah, I have the same name as that old TV show character. I'm like, oh, you.
Nod to the originals. Okay.
Yeah, so it's in a completely separate universe where Matlock was just a TV show.
Yep.
And like people like taunt her with like the Matlock theme on their phone. And
that's fun though.
I was not expecting that. That's a neat.
That's a neat little thing to do.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And it kind of gets around like the gender swapping of the character that people are going to be mad at and stuff. It's a completely separate universe. But she still does the same kind of shtick. She's the lawyer who's,
Yep. Okay. I can get behind that. We just picked up, I know the first season where we just started came out last year, the year before, but now season 2 just came out here in 2024, Lioness.
I've been meaning to watch that.
Oh my goodness, it is amazing. We're only like 2 episodes into season 1, and it's like it doesn't slow down, even in the first 2 episodes. And I was talking to a friend of mine that has seen it, and I said, this is intense, like high octane for 2-3 episodes straight. And he was like, it doesn't slow down. I'm like, what? He's like, if anything, it gets worse, like in a good way. And I'm like, how does that happen? Zoe Saldana does great in that show. I mean, it's just...
Well, she's great in everything.
Oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm itching to watch more of that.
Because I'm me, I'm going to talk about Star Trek a little bit.
Oh, naturally.
We got the ending of Star Trek Lower Decks, the animated TV series, which is a comedic take. It's supposed to be in the same universe as all the Star Trek shows, but it's like a slapstick, raunchy comedy. It's...
That's f***ed up! Let's do this!
Yes, totally, but you are sitting on it backwards.
Damn it!
The show is about the unimportant background characters. And they're the people on the lower decks who have to share bunks.
Yep.
That tell raunchy jokes and like shit. They have to do all the cleanup work and whatnot. They get the tasks nobody wants to do.
Okay.
And it's a genuinely funny show, but it's hard to watch if you're not already a Trekkie because there's so much inside baseball, so many references to.
Oh, okay.
Like half the jokes are referencing things that happened in a serious Star Trek. So it's like a self-parody, but in a good way.
Okay.
So I'm really sad to see that show ending. Its final episode will be out this coming Thursday. Okay. By the time this video comes out, it'll probably be out.
We had just picked up. Did you ever watch Big Bang Theory?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch Young Sheldon?
A little bit. I didn't really care for it.
Young Sheldon was cute. Big Bang Theory is still better. Yeah. They had their spin-off series called George and Mandy's First Wedding, or First Marriage. And we just picked that up. And it's the same kind of feel as like Young Sheldon and whatnot, but it's a cutesy little show to have on here and there.
Star Trek Discovery. Okay. Nice try trying to get me to stop talking about Star Trek. Star Trek Discovery, which is the worst live action Star Trek show. It had elements I liked. I'm not a hater. Some people just despise the show. I'm not one of those people, but it is the weakest show. Okay. It had its final episode. 5 seasons are over, done with.
Okay.
They're having a spin-off show for Starfleet Academy.
Okay.
where it's going to be a bunch of Starfleet cadets about 1,000 years in the future,
Okay.
which I'm lukewarm on, but they're casting some really interesting people. Paul Giamatti is going to play a villain recurring character,
Okay.
so we'll see if that's any good. The Strange New Worlds series is going to get another season, so I'm still glad that they're making Star Trek. They have a Section 31 movie coming out, which is a time-traveling spy movie.
We survive together.
I have other stuff on my list, but that's enough.
Wait, did I get you off of Star Trek? Did I succeed?
You'll never get me off.
God, I tried so hard.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
There was some good things that happened in 2024. I think there are things in 2025 that are promising.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard of anything coming up in 2025 that I'm just like, oh my God, shoot me in the face, right? Like I haven't gotten to that point with anything yet.
I'm genuinely excited for the Superman movie. That's probably the benchmark big thing I'm looking for in 2025.
Okay.
Because whether you like Superman or not, if you're into the DC universe and you want to see successful future Batman movies, kind of hinges on how well the Superman movie does.
Yeah.
So I really hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah. That's
I'm cautiously optimistic.
That's a fair statement. I can, you know what, I can respect that. I hope it does well, regardless of people like me who know that Superman is not always cracked up to be.
But it's set in a universe where there's already a bunch of superheroes. It's going to have other superheroes in it other than Superman. It'll have a version of Green Lantern with Nathan Fillion. It'll have
That's right. I forgot Nathan's coming into that.
And there may be some other surprises as well. We'll find out. Let us know in the comments, what was the best and worst thing about 2024? What are you looking for? What are you looking forward to in 2025? Or maybe you really don't want to see it, but you're probably going to see it anyway. Just let us know. And what did we miss?
Oh, sure, we missed a lot.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I didn't watch.
I'm so bad.
I mean, I have a full-time job and a family. I can't watch everything I want to watch. And plus, I'm trying to write my 4th novel. That takes a little bit of time.
God, look at you trying to get shit done.
And playing Batman Arkham Asylum. I'm still working on that.
Yes. For all of you guys that aren't being productive with your lives and sitting here watching us, make sure to give this video a like. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, guys. And as always, shit.
Cheers.
Cheers.